She often blows me away. She's such a special, wonderful human being. I love that she hasn't changed.
There are moments when Hollywood's polished veneer cracks wide open, and the world glimpses the messy truths beneath. Today, we're stepping into a whirlwind of controversy swirling around actress Blake Lively. From whispers of a shocking family feud to industry insiders leaking information that top agency bosses pulled strings behind the scenes, this entire saga challenges everything you thought you knew about her. But is Blake really the victim here? Or is she orchestrating every move to preserve her own reputation while leaving others in the dust? Stick around, because once you dive into this tangled drama, there's no going back. Long before tabloids shouted about legal battles and betrayal, there were subtle hints something was off in Blake Lively's inner circle. Fans praised her as the picture of charm and grace, but rumors hinted at cracks in her relationships. Eyes gravitated first to her own family, particularly her sister, who was rumored to be at the heart of a growing dispute. Some alleged the tension started as petty sibling rivalry, but it soon became clear that deeper resentments were brewing. Meanwhile, in Hollywood, a separate fire was smoldering beneath Blake's seemingly perfect exterior. Stories floated around of behind-the-scenes friction on various sets. Insiders told tales of disagreements that never made the headlines. Yet these hush murmurs all had a common thread. They pointed to Blake's fiercely controlled public persona and the lengths she might go to protect it. But that wasn't the whole story, some sources said. Wait until you see what she's really capable of. Those words echoed ominously, suggesting that the seeds of scandal had been planted long ago, waiting to bloom into a full-blown crisis. If the Lively name once inspired images of warmth and unity, that image now appears tarnished by rumors of betrayal. Allegedly, Blake's sister felt sidelined, and not just from Hollywood's limelight. Gossip columns claimed the tension erupted when Blake made certain remarks that belittled her sister's career choices, overshadowing her sister's own aspirations. Friends close to the family spoke of harsh arguments that escalated behind closed doors. According to one unverified source, the sister confided in them, fuming that Blake's rise to stardom had become a living nightmare for the rest of the family. "You don't do this in front of the scenes," she reportedly raged, hinting at a painful sense of public humiliation. And then, out of nowhere, news broke of the ultimate betrayal. Some shocking claim that Blake was actively working to control how the media portrayed both herself and her family. Those who had initially shrugged at the possibility of a sibling feud began whispering, maybe there's more to this than meets the eye. While the family feud sounded dramatic enough, an even bigger story lurked in the shadows, one with ramifications that stretched beyond mere sibling rivalry. The name Ari Emanuel began to surface, tied to a major talent agency at the heart of show business. Rumor had it that, in a recorded conversation, Ari flat out admitted to firing Justin Baldoni, an actor and director known for his philanthropic outlook and warm on-set presence, because of powerful connections to Blake and her equally famous husband, Ryan Reynolds. In a matter of weeks, hush-hush rumors turned into a roaring scandal. According to multiple internet leaks, Justin Baldoni had once been close to landing major deals with streaming giants. Suddenly, those opportunities evaporated. People questioned, did Blake Lively pull some strings? Did Ryan Reynolds? Speculation soared that the entire fiasco was less about legitimate wrongdoing and more about protecting certain friendships. Hollywood thrives on alliances, and this situation offered a jaw-dropping look at how star power can shake someone's entire career. Some called it a cautionary tale. Others saw it as standard industry practice. But one thread united these conversations, a sense that Blake Lively was pulling more levers behind the curtain than anyone had imagined. Amid the swirling chaos, Blake Lively appeared at red carpet events, smiling for photographers and chatting casually in interviews. Not exactly the behavior of someone crippled by fear or trauma, which was precisely what she had claimed in certain legal documents. The discrepancy raised eyebrows. Why was she telling the world she felt too frightened and anxious to go out, then turning up at premieres decked out in designer gowns, projecting total confidence? It didn't help that a prominent film director, whom Blake had worked with, offered a curt but telling statement. He'd seen no signs of the terror Blake described. He even hinted that her claims of fearful behavior didn't match the poised professional he witnessed on set. This made fans and critics alike wonder, is her story fact, or is it a carefully constructed narrative to justify certain actions? Keep an eye out, one insider urged. When you see real fear, it's written all over someone's face. But Blake looked like she didn't have a care in the world. These contradictions fanned the flames of doubt. If she was lying about feeling unsafe, what else might she be fabricating? Just when the gossip seemed at peak intensity, talk of lawsuits and countersuits spilled into public view. Allegedly, Blake had taken legal steps that accused Justin Baldoni of undermining her sense of security, painting him as the villain who had upended her peace of mind. Yet people with knowledge of the matter whispered that those allegations didn't match the real reason he was blacklisted from certain projects, especially after Ari Emanuel's leaked audio suggested personal friendships had sparked his downfall. Suddenly, fans and industry players alike began asking the bigger question: was this entire legal saga a smokescreen for something else? Each new document hinted at deeper conflicts, from alleged broken promises to rumored manipulations of the press. Observers suspected that more A-listers, Anna Kendrick, Ryan Reynolds, could get roped into depositions or statements, forced to reveal secrets they'd rather keep hidden. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni found himself in an impossible position, fired by one of the most influential agencies in Hollywood, losing high-profile gigs, and fighting a narrative that labeled him a troublemaker. For him, clearing his name meant shining a light on the real story, that powerful people might have decided his fate long before any official complaints landed on a judge's desk. And then came the bombshell. Audio clips surfaced, allegedly capturing Ari Emanuel discussing Justin's firing, and the conversation had nothing to do with any misconduct or wrongdoing on Justin's part. Instead, it painted a picture of personal loyalty, with lines like, "He's too close to Blake and Ryan." So that's that. The uproar was instant. If the real reason for Justin's blacklist was purely to appease a Hollywood power couple, it meant the entire case against him might be hollow. Social media seized on this revelation. Users began connecting the dots. If Justin wasn't at fault, then who was behind the campaign to ruin his career? Fingers started pointing back at Blake Lively, who'd insisted Justin needed to be held accountable for allegedly harming her mental health. Then came the wave of public confusion. If Ari Emanuel admitted the reasons were personal, where does that leave all of Blake's claims? This contradiction cracked Blake's carefully constructed facade. The more she insisted she was a victim, the more skeptics demanded evidence, real, tangible proof. Where were the texts threatening her safety? Where were the legitimate investigations into any alleged wrongdoing? Meanwhile, photos of her on various red carpets kept surfacing, reminding everyone she seemed perfectly at ease in the spotlight. If anyone in Hollywood hoped these fires would die quietly, they were sorely mistaken. Legal experts weighed in, explaining how a lawsuit moving to trial would require real evidence: emails, phone records, agent memos, things that could expose the entire system of personal favor trading. Imagine top Hollywood figures being forced to testify under oath, having to confront direct questions about who asked whom to fire Justin Baldoni and why. Some insiders murmured that Blake could still avoid the spectacle if she hurriedly arranged a settlement. But would that not be an admission that her accusations were flimsy at best? The rumor mill churned. Maybe she gambled that Justin would run out of money or patience first. But with public sentiment shifting in his favor, each day that passes only makes it harder for her to maintain the victim story. As for Justin, refusing to settle might be his best move to clear his name. So far, leaks and insider accounts have painted him as collateral damage in a power play. If he pushes the case into open court, who knows what additional revelations might surface? Perhaps text messages that show Blake orchestrating behind-the-scenes calls, or emails from producers who dropped Justin to stay in her good graces. If such documents exist, they could rewrite the entire narrative and lay bare the underbelly of Hollywood politics. So here we stand, watching a drama that feels almost scripted, except it's a real-life power struggle with reputations on the line. Blake Lively soared to A-list status on a platform of seeming authenticity and friendliness. Yet these allegations tell a darker tale, one involving sisterly betrayal, agency favoritism, and carefully plotted narratives that contradict reality. The stakes couldn't be higher. If this goes to trial, Hollywood could face a reckoning, forced to admit how easily personal connections can make or break a career. Nobody is safe from the fallout, especially if text messages or testimonies reveal even more manipulation behind closed doors. And Blake, often seen as an industry darling, risks losing not only legal battles, but also the public's trust. Is she simply a savvy star who played the same Hollywood game everyone else does? only to get caught? Or has she taken it to a ruthless level, disregarding who she hurts along the way? The truth may emerge in a courtroom, or perhaps in a last-ditch settlement that tries to sweep everything under the rug. Either way, viewers are left wondering how far one celebrity would go to maintain a flawless image, and what might happen once the final curtain falls on this tangled web of lies, leaked audio, and shattered relationships. In a place defined by illusions, sometimes the brightest stars cast the darkest shadows. As we all watch from the sidelines, one lesson rings loud and clear. In Hollywood, stories are crafted for profit, but real-life consequences are not so easy to spin away. And until the next bombshell drops, we're left questioning just how many more secrets are buried beneath the glitter and glam. With this controversy out in the open, the world will be watching every twist and turn. Keep your eyes peeled, because in Tinseltown, what happens next can be more shocking than any script a screenwriter could dream up.